What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to talk Battle Spirits Saga. There are two important things we need to talk about with Battle Spirits Saga. One of them is the first ever ban list that we've ever seen for the game, and I'll be honest with you, this ban list does make quite a lot of sense. And secondly, there's going to be a stream from Utrecht this weekend coming, and it's going to be on Wassie Plays. There is going to be a stream from the Pro Tour in the Netherlands this coming weekend, and the commentary is going to be by myself and the lovely Poketage, very lovely dude, very good friend, and we are going to be streaming it on Wassie Plays on this YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it, you don't need to do anything. All you need to do is pop along on Saturday from 9:30 CET, that's European time, and on Sunday from 10:30 CET, and you will get to join in the Battle Spirits Saga fun time. And yes, because it's being streamed on this channel, the games will be archived, so if you want to come and watch the stream later on because it's inconvenient during your time zone, you're busy, whatever, don't worry, it's all going to be on here. I am very, 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 very excited indeed. I love Battle Spirits Saga. I know we don't cover it on this channel as much as I'd like to. I would love to do more Battle Spirits videos, but you know that we cover Battle Spirits here. You know there are videos coming out here and there. And now, well, first we got this ban list video we need to have a chat about, but then we are going to see that there is going to be the actual live stream from the Pro Tour with myself and Taj on this channel this weekend, this coming Saturday and Sunday from Utrecht in the Netherlands, and it is going to be amazing. Now, two very important points we need to mention here about the stream. Yes, the ban list is in effect. The ban list is absolutely going to be legal, or in effect, I suppose is probably the better phrase, and this is the first big event with the ban list in action. That is very important. Secondly, the new set Aquatic Invaders is actually on sale on Friday. For very obvious reasons, it's not legal for the Pro Tour. Alright? There was no way they were going to make it legal for the Pro Tour the day after it released. That would be a nightmare. This isn't like the intro events where I actually went and played in London, where they release a set and then immediately have a tournament with whatever you could find from the previous day. Nah, none of that. It is set 1 and set 2. That's what's important. Good. Good. So what about this ban list then? Well, they've done kind of what they've done with other Bandai games, which is to say we've got banned cards, cannot put in your deck, and limited cards, you can have one copy in your deck. Now, in terms of limited cards, we've got Volcanic Break. This is a 5-cost card. It's a magic card, and it reads, select one of your opponent's spirits with 3,000 or fewer BP and destroy it. If you spend a soul core as part of the cost, select a spirit with 6,000 or fewer BP instead. Of course, it's a 5 cost, but it goes down to 3 cost because you can lower it by 2 using the pips. So it's basically a 3 cost card that has a main or flash, gets to get rid of a 3k or a 6k. Alright. Why is it so good? Well, here's what they said on the official website. In red strategies like Pterosaurs, Volcanic Break has proved to be an extremely effective flash effect for destroying 5 to 6 cost spirits in aggressive decks of other colours, limiting the opportunity for counterattacks. Although there are various other aggressive deck archetypes in colours other than red, this card has been a major component in preventing them from being used effectively. By adding this card to the limited cards list, we aim to increase diversity in the kinds of aggressive decks that can be played in the upcoming and future metagame. Basically, this is a card which helps red, and sure, you can play it in other colours, but remember, it's a 5 cost that can be reduced down to a 3 cost with red pips. Well, if you're not playing a red deck, you're not going to have the pips to reduce it, so it's going to be a more expensive and less effective card. And basically, with red, you get going very aggressively, and then when your opponent tries to copy you, you use Volcanic Break to get rid of their aggressive cards that they're trying to match you with. You can still play one, but only one. And let's stick with red and Pterosaurs for the moment, because one of the banned cards is Oviraptodon. And this is a vanilla card. It is a 1 cost, but it can be reduced by 1 if you've got a red pip, which means if you've got a single red pip on the field, it's free. It's literally free. You don't need to pay to play this card. And this alone sounds good, but this isn't the only free card, let's be clear. I mean, even in red, we've literally got Rain Needle. Rain Needle is the same card. Same cost, same power, same cost reduction, same power at all 3 levels, same cost at all 3 levels in terms of how many cores you need in order to get yourself to those levels. It is the exact same card with 3 differences. The art, which is irrelevant, the name, which is irrelevant, and the fact that it's not a pterosaur. Oh, I tend to call reduction symbols pips. They're technically called reduction symbols. That's what they're actually known as. I think pips is better. Let me know in the comment section what you go for. But the point is, this is Rain Needle, but it's a pterosaur, and that makes all the difference. Because Jurassic King Giganorex, this is the X-Rare from BSS 01, one of my favourite cards. I actually got this card in the very first pack I ever opened. I was sent an Influencers box by Bandai, and it had a single pack of Dawn of History in, and this was the rare in there. I was very happy. But the thing is, firstly, it's a great card, but it really wants other pterosaurs. So it's an 8 cost, but it can be reduced by 6. Getting 6 reduction symbols on the board is not easy. Well, all your pterosaur and Emperor Beast count double. So 3 over Raptidon, and all of a sudden this becomes a 2 cost card. Also, if you've only got Pterosaur or Emperor Beast on the field, you're automatically a level 3, even if you're only actually a level 1. It still weirds me out that the level 3 effect says treat it as a level 3. That's weird and circular, and I get why they put it that way, but it's still a bit weird. And then it's got Confront, and all your spirits gain 3,000 power if you're a level 3 and you attack. But the whole point is, this is massively, massively helped if you're playing Pterosaurs. So, yes, you've got Rain Needle, which is the same. It's not the same, ladies and gentlemen. What they say on the website is, to manage the power level of Pterosaurs while keeping the archetype viable, we are adding Oviraptidon to the banned cards list. Many decks can struggle with the early game pressure of Oviraptidon followed by Jurassic King Giganorex. We have deemed this additional measure necessary to offset other changes that heavily impact control-based strategies. Basically, they banned a couple of other cards we'll get to in a second, which are more control-oriented, and that's going to then make aggressive decks a bit better. And if they ban the control cards but not the Oviraptidon, that would just make this a bit too good. And in theory, the combination of limiting Volcanic Break and banning Oviraptidon isn't going to kill Pterosaurs as an archetype. It's still going to be viable as an archetype. It's just going to be a bit slower and a bit less aggressive and a bit less powerful. Essentially, it's going to be still good, but not good to the same level, and I do think that's very, very important. Now, one of the cards they went and banned is a card that when I saw it at the release event, I thought was absolutely absurd, and the more time goes by, the more I'm convinced that it is absolutely absurd. Neverworld Depths. This is a purple Nexus, and it's got 2, but there's only one part of this that made it absolutely redonkulous. Draw a card when one of your opponent's spirits is exhausted. The thing is, it doesn't matter how they're exhausted. As long as they are exhausted in any way, shape, or form, you get to draw a card. And that's, yeah. So every time your opponent attacks, they exhaust one of their spirits, draw a card, and so on and so forth. It's absurd the amount of draw power you can actually get with this. There is a level 2 skill as well that during your attack step when one of your spirits is blocked, you can pay a core from this Nexus to destroy your opponent's blocking spirit when the battle ends. But it's a draw power for me which always made this absurd. It's draw power the likes of which you just don't see in other archetypes. Now what they said on the website is this. In the current competitive landscape, this card has become a mainstay in many strategies. Most purple archetypes, white decks designed to stop many attacks, and green and yellow decks that generate cores quickly. We have observed play patterns revolving around early resolution of Neverworld Depths to be non-interactive and undesirable. Therefore, we have chosen to add it to the banned cards list to improve gameplay experience and deck building diversity. Because that's the thing, it's not actually just for purple decks, it's for a whole bunch of different decks, although obviously purple being one of them. And yeah, basically the decks that use it kind of ignore the opponent and just go Turbo Burr, and then, yeah, that makes it a little bit less fun for other people. So it's gone. And then they've gone and banned Axebiter. Now, I've spent a lot of time in advance of the weekend having a look back at the BSS 02 format results. And Axebiter decks have been absolutely everywhere. It's got armor purple and yellow to say that this spirit cannot be selected by the effects of your opponent's spirits, nexuses, or magic, if they're purple or yellow. And at level 2, neither this spirit nor any white nexus with a soul core on it can be destroyed by your opponent's destruction effects or as a result of battle, and they cannot have their cores removed by your opponent's effects. Basically, Axebiter and one of your white nexuses became basically invincible. What they said over on the website is this. This card has proven to be an over-centralizing cornerstone of control-heavy white strategies. The viability of many archetypes seems to be determined by their ability to address this card in tandem with spells like Suppression and Infinity Shield. Suppression, of course, being a very widely played white magic card that gives one of your spirits 3,000 power during this turn, but more importantly, if you spend a soul core as part of the cost, then the spirit can block while exhausted. So you boost the spirit by 3,000, and then they can block while exhausted, so they can essentially block everything. But then, of course, if that thing is Axebiter, well, you also cannot be destroyed, really, while also being able to block everything. And yeah, that gets a little bit awkward a little bit quickly. The other one they mentioned there was Infinity Shield, which is another card that has seen a decent amount of play, although not quite on the level of Suppression. It just lets you select one of your Machine Beast or Mecha Spirits, and it says they can block while exhausted during this turn. Still a good card, don't get me wrong. Still seen a whole bunch of play, not on the level of Suppression. But still, hopefully you can see how one of those cards combined with Axebiter, it can block while exhausted, but also has the protection it generally has because it's Axebiter. Yeah. Besides the strength of this combination limiting card diversity among white strategies, this tactic has also contributed to games taking longer to complete than we had anticipated. We aim to alleviate both issues through adding this card to the banned card list. This isn't going to stop white decks being viable, it just means you've got to mix it up a little bit. All of a sudden, they're not going to be built around Axebiter like they used to be. You're still going to see Suppression seeing a bunch of play. It's still a phenomenal card. Still going to be sideboarded in a whole bunch of decks. You're still going to see all the other white favourites coming along. You're just not going to see this one. Purple decks aren't going to not be viable because of Netherworld Depths. They're just going to be a bit slower. Pterosaur and other red decks aren't going to be killed because Overraptidon can't be played anymore. They're just going to have less explosive power in the early game, and that's kind of the point. That's what the ban list was aiming to do. There we go. That's what you need to know. That's the ban list. And please, please, please make sure you check out the stream at the weekend. I'm working very hard to make sure it's a success. A lot of other people are working very hard to make sure that it is a success. And I think it's going to be awesome. And you don't need to go anywhere. It's on this channel. Watch it, would ya? Right, that's what you need to know from me. Now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think of the ban list in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about a bunch of card games, including Battle Spirits. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.